Hello YouTube. Welcome back to my Last Mountain Earth reviews, and here we are, episode 4, Sweet Melissa. Now this episode, the plot of this episode is what you expect after episode 3, in which, after marrying Kristen Shaw, Will Forte accidentally hits January Jones' car, and now he wants to sleep with January Jones, and this is probably the least good of the episode so far, and probably the reason is because of that is, one, the humor was pretty standard this episode. Like, most of it was just Will Forte pathetically trying to impress January Jones, and that was the bulk of the humor of it. But let's go through it. Will Forte still a very likable presence as the lead. I really like his character. I really like how he was definitely an underachiever, and he definitely is somewhat selfish, but he's still a nice guy too. Like there's a point when he thinks about leaving Shaw to sleep with Jones, and he can't do it. He just can't break Kristen Shaw's heart like that. And so yeah, he's still very likable. Kristen Shaw, just as funny and bizarre as ever. She definitely gets the weirdest humor and the funniest jokes of this episode, especially during a dream sequence with Will Forte's dream sequence. That just cracked me up. And let's talk about the new cast member, January Jones as Melissa, and when I heard January Jones was in this show, I didn't know what to expect, because even though I loved her in Mad Men, she was the most bitter, one of those bitter and depressing characters on the show, and didn't know how she would do comedy. And she actually, she's not really giving any jokes this episode. She's definitely supposed to be the straight person of the episode, but she did not damper the mood in the slightest. I want to see how she does with actual like jokes like in future episodes, because like I said, it was just mainly her being the straight person this episode. But she did not ruin it at all. She was not annoying in the slightest. And yeah, and I'm excited. I still really like this show. I'm still excited for next week's episode 5, and I think it's also going to be 6 next week. And yeah, and I will also say another reason why I think this was the weakest episode was because there was no real heartfelt moment this episode, as there were for the first 3 episodes. But besides that, this is still one of the most enjoyably weird comedies on televisions. Like I said, still excited for next week's episode. And YouTube, I know I usually forget to say this, but please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.